Attention parents, you are not going to want to miss this segment. We are talking about making sure that your children's immunization shots are current, and also just to find out how to get the paperwork. A very important time of year to be discussing this because they can't go to school without it. I have Kim Austin here to join us to tell us all about it. She's with the Sullivan County Health Department, and she is the nursing supervisor there. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
In fact, you reminded me when I walked in today. I was like, I need to make sure I have the paperwork in for my own kids. So a lot of us out there, give us some real facts that we need to know. I know kindergarten's really the big year, right? That we need to have all of their shots in and
correct. There's certain vaccines that they have to have before they begin kindergarten. And if they're not up to date, they won't be able to start school when school actually starts. So it's really important that they have their Tdaps, their MMRs, their hepatitis Bs, their chickenpox, and their polio series completed.
Okay, now in most cases, these shots begin really when they're little toddlers and babies, really. So they're usually at their doctor's office, but if they're not, they can come and get these from the health department. Isn't that right?
Yes, we recommend that you check with your primary care physician.
Okay.
Some children either don't have a primary care physician, or it's going to be really hard for them to get in because everybody tends to wait to the last minute and then everybody tries to get in. If you can't get in with your primary care physician, then of course come to the health department and we'd be glad to help you.
Now as a nurse, I mean, why are these immunizations so important?
Well, of course we don't want to see any children sick with any of the illnesses that these prevent. You know, with vaccines we've managed to pretty much eradicate some bad illnesses like polio, measles, mumps, and rubella, those types of things. There's been a period of time where parents have either lacked on getting these vaccines or for whatever reason, we're seeing some emergence of some things that haven't been around in a little while, like pertussis, whooping cough. That's the reason for the new 7th grade requirement that all children now have to have a Tdap booster before they start 7th grade. We were seeing an increase in that, and certainly don't want that to turn into any kind of epidemic, so they've decided to have those kids start getting that booster in the 7th grade.
And we were talking about in terms of cost, it's not something that we can really say because everybody's costs are a little different and it depends. So
correct.
That's sort of a hard one to nail down. And also, we were asking you earlier if anything is unusual that you see. You see so much that nothing is unusual.
Correct, correct. You know, sometimes we'll see some outbreaks of chickenpox. Always you have your intestinal viruses and those kinds of things. But with immunizations, we're not seeing any of those really serious illnesses like the polio, the measles, the mumps, the rubellas.
Are there any other new vaccines that we don't know about that we're supposed to have, like the 7th grade one that's sort of new, or?
Nothing new. Of course, some of the requirements have changed. They have to have that 7th grade Tdap booster. Also, if they've not completed the 2-dose chickenpox vaccine by the 7th grade, they have to have that second one.
Okay.
And there's some other vaccines that are not necessarily required, but we do recommend for that 7th grade age group too, like meningococcal and the HPV vaccine.
And I am sure you've seen the gamut of things come through. What would you say you've seen the most of in the last couple years?
Flu, influenza. You know, those, that's a vaccine that is not required for school. And when you don't have a requirement for it and it's just a recommended vaccine, not all people think that it's important. But influenza is the biggest thing that we've seen in, you know, in the schools.
Now, am I missing anything? Is there anything that we need to know?
There is a TWIS form. The Tennessee Web Immunization System is the actual official form that parents have to have filled out for their children to be in school.
Okay.
The doctors have those and the health department has those. I don't think so.
So we just need those. You have to have them to get your kids to school.
Correct, correct.
Well, good to know. Well, thank you so much for being with
welcome.
us. All you parents, make sure you pick up and call your primary caregiver and get these forms in. I feel like we can't have a segment on Inside Bristol without it involving music, because of course we are the birthplace and it's just everywhere around Bristol, and we all love it, and we love to talk about it. So here today I've got Doris Stickley with me from the Public Library to tell us about the concert series going on there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm excited about America's music. And it's really kind of an interesting situation because we're only one of 50 libraries
Wow.
in the country that is doing this. It's a film series, but it's
Okay.
about music.
Wow.
And if you're not up on all the different kinds of distinctive American types of music like jazz, Tin Pan Alley, gospel, and of course our own much-loved bluegrass, you're not going to know the history of those different
Right.
genres. So that's what this is. It's a series of 6 films. We have done 3. We've got 3 more to go. This coming Saturday is Broadway and Tin Pan Alley. How many people know that Broadway is a distinctly American type of music?
Had no idea.
It is. It's not done anywhere else in the world. It originated here off of Tin Pan Alley
Wow.
in the 1920s and became big business. It made music at that time big business. So we're going to watch a really wonderful series of films that are documentaries, award-winning, won 2 Emmys.
Wow.
And then we don't have a Broadway show for us to watch this time, but we always have these great lively discussions afterwards.
You can just go over to the Paramount for one of their shows
Oh,
and get a
would
good
love
feel
to.
of that.
Wouldn't
that
that be
neat?
wonderful?
That would be great.
It would
You'll
be.
have to do that someday. Well, how did you even get all of these?
Well, Bill Hartley, who does a lot of grant writing, and Dr. Jessica Turner, who has just been named the manager and the executive director, and the curator of the Birthplace of Country Music Museum, and she teaches at VI. She's a music ethnologist, which
Okay.
the culture of music, and got together and saw this grant, went after it, and we were awarded the grant. So the actual physical place for the series is at the library. We're doing popcorn, and people are doing the different movies. We've had a small audience, but it's been a hearty one that's been out there. They're enthusiastic. They love the music. And I'm not a music person. My husband and son are real music people.
Right.
I have learned so much watching these films.
Oh, I bet they're so interesting.
They are, and you just get this whole new respect for American ingenuity, creativity.
So
and
is it
things.
every Saturday then?
Every Saturday, and the
Okay.
last one will be the 17th, and
Okay.
Dr. Ted Elson is going to come talk about bluegrass in the sessions.
Oh, how neat.
So we'll do a
That'll
follow-up
be your
on that.
really, really packed one.
We'll get a lot of folks for that one.
And
I
then they'll
think.
probably want to come back and say, oh, I missed the first, so then will you run it again?
Well, we will. We've talked about
Okay.
doing that. Plus, one of the things that's given, because many of these are parts of 6-part series,
Okay.
all of those have been given to the library, and as soon as we're finished doing the series, they will be available for checkout.
Oh, great.
So if you come and saw a segment, you want to see the rest of it, you'll can check out Ken Burns' Jazz, which is a 6-part series. So they'll be available. And we've talked about doing more documentaries, but we will do these again too.
Now, where in the library do we go if we want to
The large meeting room upstairs, it's the round
okay.
room under the rotunda.
Mhm.
It's we have a 9-foot screen, so you get a
Nice.
really good view of it.
Surround sound?
So, well, we have a very good sound system with it too. And
And we all like
11
popcorn.
a.m. Yes,
Oh,
11
11 in the
a.m.
morning, okay.
11 a.m. on Saturdays.
Good place to stay
For
cool.
3, yes. Or if it's way Saturdays have been
Or
going when
rainy.
it's rainy, you can come in and just be
It's a
comfortable
great thing to do.
and talk. It's really nice to see the interaction of the audience together because these are people that genuinely love music.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just talking away about all the different things and have their own stories. One of the things that particularly Dr. Turner wants to do, because she's moderating the series, is your experience with music. Because music's like poetry. It's to make you feel. And all of us, there's a song, you hear that song and it reminds you of